What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Dat Talk Podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-host with me. You heard?
Yeah, man. You know, it's just back to basketball without my team being a focal part of it. It hurts. It hurts, man. It was six long years.
Yeah.
No playoff basketball. Then I get a championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go home in the first round?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, that hurts. Like, but this is one of those years where I'm okay with it. I feel like we get better rest.
Mm-hmm.
Let the my man, Bron get adequate rest. I feel like AD needs to hire Tim Grover, the trainer that had Kobe and Jordan and D Wade, because I think his training needs to be about getting his body right versus training to get right, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because I feel like he in his career, he's really never played a full season. And it's not that he suffered any major injuries, but he's always nicked up. And that has to, that's got to be some area of concern. Because I was watching, I forgot what I was watching, but they brought up a good point. When you hurt your groin, that has to do with something about your glutes not firing right. And that means you're not doing something with your proper stretching and certain different things. On top of, he had the knee injury, so the overcompensation and your body not being right. So, I'm happy for the Lakers to get health. I still believe Vogel needs to go. I just don't think he has a good pulse of the team. I didn't believe in him last year, and I'm on record of being like that. It's not like all of a sudden, Vogel won a championship. And nah, you know me, bro. I have been consistent about how I feel about Frank Vogel. Just because I don't know, just something about his coaching style. Great defensive mind, great. Can't knock the man defensively, but the buy-in on offense, the rotations, maximizing your players, he's not good at that. He's just not, because you look at Indiana, you look at Orlando, those teams always came up short because I feel like he got out-coached rather than the teams not being talented enough. So that's my Laker rant.
Yeah.
I'll save the rest of that for when the offseason hits.
Yeah.
And what we should and shouldn't do. But I know LeBron sent out a subliminal little message, right?
That he did. But we're going to wait till LeBron, because we ain't talking about LeBron. LeBron is at the crib. He's over there promoting Space Jammy Jam in his new food. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I know who is prepared and who's playing some of the greatest basketball I've seen thus far in the playoffs is the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie and KD dominance. To see James Harden go down in game one with a hamstring and to see them don't miss a beat it's astonishing. And I gotta give kudos to Kyrie and KD, because I was one of those people who said I don't think they can play together. I think they're going to clash. But the way they've been gelling, it's been making Milwaukee look like Milwaukee, put it that way, okay? Milwaukee is looking exactly like Milwaukee again. They're going back to their old, it's ridiculous that I see it, because they're going back to their old habits of Giannis at the top of the key, try to make something happen, and it's disgusting. It's like despicable to see. Like, you got all this size and you constantly playing into the Nets' favor, shooting threes after threes, jacking up threes after threes. And Middleton, he needs some of that playoff criticism because he's middle not. That's what it is. Middle not show up, okay? He middle not show up. Not a maybe not show up, middle not show up. You don't know what Middleton you're going to get, if he's going to show up or not. And I am very, very disappointed in Giannis allowing the Nets to let him continue to play the way they want him to play instead of playing the way he want him to play. And then they can't stop nobody. I mean, the bench players is getting what they want. KD, Kyrie getting what they want. I saw a series where Giannis was in a spin cycle against Kyrie and KD, and it got dunked. I was like, what is going on over here? What is going on over here? And they look defeated. They look defeated. In both games, it wasn't even a game. That's the sad part. Like, it wasn't even a game. They was losing by 49 points in a playoff game. Let that sink in. 49 points in a playoff game. That's pathetic. I think this is probably going to be, if they get eliminated and they get swept, that coach is out of here. I think he's gone. I think he's gone.
Voodoo's got to be gone. You got to be gone. The reason why I picked the Bucks to win, because in that Heat series, they showed me a different Bucks.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez was down low a little bit more. Giannis was scoring down low. Middleton picked his spots. Drew Holiday picked his spots. You feel me? It was like the Milwaukee I seen in that first round. I'm like, whoa, Nets got a problem, right? Because that's what when you look at it, you like, whoa. But we get to the second round, and it's like, who the hell is this Milwaukee Bucks?
Facts.
They're out there looking like the Milwaukee Bambies.
It's that.
I just don't understand it. I mean, game one kind of got out of hand later on in the fourth, but Giannis had 34. He was more at the rim. I looked at it as, they not going to shoot that bad again. But I felt that Giannis attacking could help out, But we get to game two, they shot even worse. And then Giannis stopped attacking. All of a sudden, he was like, well, since y'all shoot, I'm going to just shoot. It's like, bro, I just don't understand it. I feel like Stephen A. Smith said it best this morning. Giannis, you are the reigning defensive player of the year. I understand that KD is KD. But at some point, you need to grab your cojones and say, I got him. Not PJ Tucker, not Chris Middleton. I got him. Or if KD's going for 30, you better believe I'm going to have 30, 35 also. If I can't stop him, I'm going to go ahead and get my buckets. And so Giannis has to get into that bag and understand that he needs to cancel KD. And then Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton need to do a combined of canceling Kyrie. And that'd be their best chance of coming back to win this series. But what we are seeing is Kevin Durant is back.
Oh, he's back.
I feel like he's better. I feel like he's playing with a different aggression that he even did with the Warriors. And that was an aggressive KD.
Yeah.
He's back in his bag. I mean, that's just what it is right now. So, I feel like Kyrie is doing what Kyrie does, and I'm more impressed with who the hell is this Blake Griffin?
He's here. Not just Blake, it's the whole others. The others have been stepping up and outplaying the Milwaukee Bucks. And then even to get on Giannis, how do you be the star player and you take less shots than Middleton? How does Middleton not has more shot attempts than you? Where does that make sense at?
Hey, bro, because Middleton's coming down, and like I watched a full quarter and a half before I just got disgusted. They was literally coming down taking the first shot available. It was like catch, pass, shoot. I thought I was watching a game at the Rec.
Facts.
Bro, that's how it looked. It was like 5 people that just went into the Rec locker room and was like, all right, we're going to figure this out.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you one thing: they better figure it out, or they going home. But shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. I want to, like I say, I apologize for Kyrie and saying that he probably not gonna get it done. He's been getting it done. He's been playing unselfish, and they have been playing like the better team, moving the basketball, getting everybody else involved, and they are all bought into what they're trying to do right now. So shout out to Brooklyn Nets. But another series that took a turn for the worse for this team. And I was shocked because in the third quarter, it was a close game. And then the last 3 minutes of this game, it just got blew out the water. The Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. I thought that game was going to be closer than what it was. And then Phoenix just got hot. Everybody damn near had 20 points. Everybody had 20. I mean, they couldn't miss. And it is livid and live in AZ. I'm telling you, Phoenix is going up every damn day when they play in there. That crowd, and they thrive off that crowd, and it's like they can't miss. You got Crowder shooting three-pointers. You got Bridges shooting three-pointers. Devin Booker didn't even have the craziest game, and he still had 20. Chris Paul, another one, still balling in the fourth quarter. Look, I'm going to say this right now. If Chris Paul was to get like 3-4 rings, he'd probably be one of the best players to play this game. His heart, his tenacity, his leadership, his grit, the way that he could, I'm telling you, he's not an off-brand cereal no more. I still want him to win a championship so it can help his legacy out. But what he does for every team, he's not an off-brand. He's just not the top tier. He's like right below that top tier. He's a gamer, and he's going to give you everything he got. And the Phoenix Suns is looking like the team to beat in the West. How do you feel about that series?
Hey, man, I told you, bro. I got the Suns going to the finals. They showed me a lot in that Lakers series, and my thing is can they maintain it? And it looked like they can. The person I'm most surprised with is DeAndre Ayton. He has really surprised. Like, he's really coming into his own. He's looking like a legitimate big man. He's like a half of traditional and then the rim runners, you feel me? Because he ain't the stretch big man yet. So I feel like he's to me, he's a new half breed of a traditional big man and then the rim runners that catch lobs like the Capellas and all those kind of dudes. But he got a little bit of a little inside game. So I'm thoroughly impressed with DeAndre Ayton. Thoroughly impressed with Bridges and his game and his development, because not only is he playing defense, he's also getting buckets. And Chris Paul is just a consummate professional. The biggest knock on him in there in these times is health. And if he can avoid this shoulder injury being any worse or getting any worse, I got the Suns going to the finals, man. They are shooting the ball red hot. Cameron Payne's coming off the bench playing well. Cameron Johnson's coming off the bench playing well. Monty Williams has a good post to this team. I got this series going 6, but in my heart it says 5 Phoenix, because I feel like Denver's not playing Portland that's not going to D up.
Right.
That's the difference. Phoenix is going to play defense.
Yeah.
And they're going to lock in and they're going to make it tough. Ayton being able to guard Jokic one-on-one, but also go back at him to make him have to play defense. So this is a good series, but I got this over in 5, maybe 6.
No, I hear you. And I think it's going to go 6 Phoenix way. But here's my thing with Denver, and a lot of teams I'm starting to see in this league is really upsetting me, is that you got all this height, you got all this size, and you want to shoot three-pointers. I don't understand it. I would never get it. It would never make sense to me, is that you constantly, Michael Porter Jr. want to jack up threes after threes. The man like 6'9", damn near 6'10", and he want to continue to shoot three-pointers and bail out the defense. And he ain't playing no type of defense. And then I saw Aaron Gordon. He had the right mentality. Get me down in the post and let me get these easy buckets. And I think if the Nuggets do not adjust and play that style of basketball, put Phoenix in the foul trouble, use your size. I don't understand why we continue to want to shoot threes constantly, time and time again. And I think the Nuggets, that game got away because they wanted to shoot three-pointers. When they was moving the ball inside out, yeah, a couple threes here and there, but the inside game is where it was at. They shot damn near over 72 attempts. 72 field goal attempts. That's a lot of damn shots to be getting up. And I'm disappointed that they got away from the game plan. And then Phoenix, and I credit Phoenix to this because they got them out of their game plan by hitting a lot of threes. But here's the thing. If they hit a three, that's great. If you giving up wide open threes, that's different. If you're giving up contested threes, you got to live with that. So you got to take your percentages. But the Phoenix Suns was getting wide open, uncontested threes. And that's why they went on those runs. They over helping on certain people you probably shouldn't be over helping on. I still think they got a chance to make a series out of this, even though Phoenix do play defense. But if they continue to play into the role of Phoenix and shoot threes and try to beat you with 3-pointers, they're not going to win this series. They may get beat in 5. I say 5. I give them 1 game in Denver. I don't think Jokic's going to allow himself to lose all the games, but they got to change something up. But you know who else has to change something up? I'm kind of shocked right now. Philadelphia.
I'm not.
76ers.
I'm not.
They had Triple H come out.
Oh.
The DX going crazy. He didn't even get the regular bail for the ding. He got the sledgehammer.
And you know what the sledgehammer mean to Triple H.
Exactly. It's time to play the game. And they didn't play the game. They allowed Trae Young and them Atlanta Hawks to come in there and destroy them. And don't get me wrong, Trae Young and them barely survived. They barely got out of there. If they would have lost that game, that series would have been over. I'm telling you right now, because the confidence would have been shot. But they was able to hold on to that game. But my thing is, are they going to still be able to shoot the way they shot on Sunday? Because Sunday, they couldn't miss. They like Bogdanovich, not Bogdanovich. What's the? Because I always get them names mixed up. No. The guy Bogdan shot a big 3-pointer, which was a difference maker in that game with 40 seconds left. That was the game for me. Now the other stuff was just mental mistakes and things like that. But I really don't know how they're going to win because yes, they're going to get Embiid and down low, and he's going to get what he wants. But then they're going to put Embiid in that pick and roll. And if Embiid don't come up, Embiid don't show, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to get whatever they want. And so it's a trick for the trade. And so I feel like Atlanta can give Philly a run for their money. I just don't think they're going to win it. I think they can, but I think Philly will figure it out. They will get it together. They will play better defense. They got to figure out how they're going to stop Trae Young because Trae Young is a difference maker. He's getting whatever he wants no matter what. And then no matter who's the defender on, they're going to put you in a pick and roll and they're going to force you to switch. And if the defender don't want to choose to stay on Trae Young, it's going to be picking seasons for the Atlanta Hawks.
Hey, man, go Hawks, baby. I told you, bro. I told you.
Mm-hmm.
My pick was made based off the fact that Embiid was hurt. So, I'm going to still stick with the Hawks. I'm going to just say in 6 this time. Give them an extra game. I just like what this Hawks team got, bro. I like what they got. I like how they doing things, man. They showing me things that's showing me that they're growing up.
Yeah.
They have a Golden State Warrior feel of being organically made. You feel me? From Trae Young being drafted, John Collins being drafted. You add a couple additions of some vets, but your core is pretty young from what you have manifested and let it be. And big shout out to Nate McMillan, man. To have that Pacer team that he had last year get the contract extension during the bubble. They end up getting swept. I feel like due to some injuries and all that stuff. Then he gets fired. Then he gets hired in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Lord Pierce is the starting head coach. He gets fired. He steps right in. And Atlanta's been the best team since March 1st as far as record-wise. That's not by happenstance. He got those boys playing defense because that was a knock. I remember before the season even got started, when we was talking about Atlanta. Atlanta to us was one of the teams that should turn the corner. And one of your things that you said is, are they going to play defense? Mm-hmm. Can they play some defense? Because they got the scoring power. Can they play defense? And they're showing that. And so, man, they're an exciting team to watch.
Yes.
I felt like the youth kind of caught up to him at the end because Philly started full court pressing and all that kind of stuff. I just think they probably should have put another ball handle on the court like a Lou Will, and that could have settled that down a little bit more. But I like what I'm seeing, and you feel me? Hey, Iceberg Trey is here.
Yes, he is. He's definitely here, and he's here to stay, and I'm looking forward to this game 2 that they got coming very, very soon today. The Clippers, I said it. We said it last week. Which LA team is going home? Unfortunately, the Lakers went home, and the Clippers are here to stay. They survived. They survived. Game 6 was Kawhi, heroic performance in Dallas, and then Game 7 was just a team effort all the way around. Morris had 7 for 9 from the 3-point line. Paul George didn't have the best game, but he played well. He had assists, rebounds. He did the other stuff. He had Kawhi out there balling, and just everybody played extremely well. And then Luka, he just I don't know. Like they
need help. He didn't call it what it is.
He don't
need help.
He don't have no help. I knew the game. If they lost to Dallas, they was lose. If they lost in Dallas, it was a wrap. They fought as hard as they did, but they tightened it up. They played great defense on Luka. They made him make bad decisions, turn the ball over, and he's still young. And it showed at times. Luka get flustered at times, and sometimes he get in his bag, but sometimes he get flustered, and he lose sight of his aggression, and he lose sight of making great plays. But credit everything to Ty Lue and the Clippers, man. They manned up. They didn't want to go home. They got it done, and now they're about to play a tough Utah team, and we'll talk about that in just a sec because we just found out Mike Conley not even going to play. I don't know how you pull your hamstring on a rest day. What did you do?
He hurt his hamstring in Game 5.
So game 5, that was like a week ago.
Yeah, but the hammy that he hurt was the hammy that had him missing games throughout the course of the season. Same thing like JH. Yeah. Just one of those things where you know how it is with the hamstring. Every time you think it's good, one thing can have you done. So yeah, he hurt his hammy. He hurt his hammy in Game 5, or maybe Game 5 or Game 4.
Yeah.
Of the last series. And so that was something I was looking at. That's why, I got the Clippers winning the series because Conley settles that team down. Conley keeps everything kind of going and allows Donovan Mitchell to just be Donovan Mitchell. And now, you feel me, they're going to be looking more at Joe Ingles running the 1, and that's not a bad thing, but you need your point guard, man.
Yeah.
You do. And so it's going to be tough. Shout out to the Clippers for coming through and showing that grit and not wanting to go home early. And I feel like we looking at James Harden, Luka 2.0 in Dallas right now.
Right.
You just out there and you looking at your teammates like, when y'all going to do something? Another report came in that KP feels bad because he was an afterthought. You made yourself an afterthought. Yeah. You 7'2", being guarded by people that's 6'8", and you wanted to sit in the damn corner. That's what you wanted to do. I can care less how good Luka is. At some point in that series, I done went to Rick Carlisle and be like, hey, look, coach, check this out, champ.
Mm-hmm.
Luka nice. Give me the goddamn ball. I can help. But if you ain't going to speak up for yourself and you okay being relegated to the corner, then that's where you're going to be at.
Facts.
It's just that simple. So, good series, good season by Dallas, man. Get that man Luka some help so he can really be the face of the NBA.
Real talk.
And, big ups to the Clippers, man. I'm proud of the Clippers.
Big ups to the Clippers. Before we get into the Lakers and we get into LeBron subliminal message, we got my man Hot Take Jay in the building. And we're going to start him on the LeBron subliminal, how he feel about it. Then we'll talk about, get his suggestions on the other topics that we talked about. So y'all know Hot Take Jake is here to go crazy. So without further ado, let's get my man Hot Take Jake in the building, man. Let's get him in the building to talk about this LeBron subliminal message, man. There he is. Hot Take. He got the glasses. He's ready. He's locked in. Oh, man. How you doing, brother?
All right. Mic check. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, man.
Yeah.
We hear you.
Cool.
What's good, bro?
Chilling, man. Ready to get in it, man. Where y'all at? So I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. Y'all been chatting up a storm, but everybody else is gonna hear it live or right there on the pod, and I'm coming in a little cold, but
We good. That's a good thing because then you're gonna bring a new, fresh perspective to the mix. You know what I'm saying? So we're starting from the LeBron James subliminal post that he put on IG talking about I'm coming back for vengeance. How do you feel about LeBron and all? We know that he lost. We know. I'm gonna put out here and said it. My man lost so he can promote his movie. I'm gonna put out here and said it. He lost to promote Space Jam. I know Brian would never say it, but I'm telling you, Space Jam was during the finals, and you gotta promote it. He ain't gonna be able to take no time off to play. So he's like, hey, you know what? And you know what's happened too? The NBA didn't fine him or suspend him for that COVID protocol, but they said, you know what? Yeah. You gotta sacrifice your first round playoff, and then we'll get it back next year. You feel me? I'm just saying that's one of my hot takes. But how do you feel about LeBron's subliminal message to the league talking about, hey, I'm coming back for vengeance?
Yeah, no, you know what? I've doubted LeBron enough, and I've always said his, the cliff is near. He's not going to be in that 1% anymore. And Father Time is undefeated. But I'm tired of saying that, and I got faith in him to come back and do what he do. He showed a lot. I'm going back to the days when he couldn't post up JJ Barea, and then I'm watching him, give a clinic to Jay Crowder and living under the rim. Now, I'm not a LeBron fanboy, so there's a new reality. His days of being Superman, that's over, right? But if I'd be lying if I said he's not going to go get in the lab, level up some of that under the rim game. And the real concern when he says, I'm coming back with a vengeance, I'm like, bro, how you writing checks that Rob Pelinka, Dennis Schroeder, and Anthony Davis ain't finna cash. So, unless you Superman, you can't mask that, right? So they didn't spend all the dry powder. They spent it all. So my man Reason is about to face that reality. I caught him on IG talking about Brad Beal, and I'm like, that's like going to the caddy dealership, getting pre-approved for a hot 30 G's, and when the guy says, "Wait, that's all we talking about? 30 G's? Sorry, player, you might have to step on down to the Toyota dealership."
Hey, listen.
Brad Beal. Like, you said Brad Beal.
I did.
You said it for KCP and Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be more added to that, obviously.
I didn't mean to come in here and put you on blast, boy.
No. I mean,
hey, I love it. I take listen. Put him on the hot seat.
Hey, listen, I'm on a public forum, baby. So you ain't putting me on blast, baby. You feel me? I respect it. I'm glad that you took the time out to listen to your boy. Yeah. So I appreciate you for even listening to me. You feel me?
Sure.
So it's always love. But I just feel like just basically even like agreeing with your point. LeBron is no longer him like that no more. You feel me? Like he's not on a cliff. He's not that. I just feel he's just not about to just carry the Lakers to a championship. That's no. We gotta stop that. So you gotta be real. Anthony Davis, we don't know if he's ever going to just be healthy enough. So now it has to turn into a LeBron's like, you know what? I'm in Monstar mode. No pun intended to Space Jam. I need to gather all the assets and the players needed to go win a ship. I feel like he did it at his younger age of his career. That's why he got so much scrutiny. Versus now, at this point, is where he's supposed to do it. Go get everybody. Brad Beal, Dame, whoever want to come to LA, go ahead and bring them on in and try to figure it out just like the Nets did. Just figure it out at this point. Like I'm to the put them together and let them figure it out mode, because obviously the team chemistry and the right pieces, that ain't working. I ain't got time to be sitting around here looking at the Lakers trying to figure this out. I just go get the stars and let's just go run.
But hold on, let's pause right there. When you go get the stars is one of two ways. Yeah. And they blew the second option. So what I'm getting at here is either you clear up 30 plus $1 million of salary cap space. Don't cost you nothing else but LeBron and Pelinka winning them over, right?
Yeah.
You can scratch that. They're living over the cap between Anthony Davis, KCP, Kyle Kuzma, and all this bad money
They can go
out here.
They can go.
They can go, but one, you got to get somebody to take that bad money.
You're right.
And free up the $40 million, which I'm not sure is feasible. And then the other avenue, you know, what you got in your pockets? Go look at all the picks. Nothing. You're right. They gave them all up for Anthony Davis, your boy. So the only real reality, like, is here's the hard question. Let's fast forward. Let's just, you know, put nuts on the table and ask the question, are you willing to trade AD? And if so, what would you expect? It seems counterintuitive, but that's the question. That's the hard question.
I don't think that's.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't even think that's the question. I don't even think that's even in the discussion of trading AD. And Rob Pelinka said we're going to keep the core, and what that means, he did say that. He said we're going to.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he's going to.
Core meaning LeBron and AD.
Yeah. Now everybody else, you're on a hot seat, okay? But LeBron and AD. Now, let's go ahead and say this right here. LeBron James will play at a high caliber of basketball. I think what's now is going to happen, knowing that his athleticism is still at the top percentile when he wants to get there. It's just not going to be all the time. He's going to start working on other things, a part of his game that he never relied on because of his athleticism, because of his greatness, right? So now it's about to be working on. You see it time and time again. He's been trying to improve his shooting. He's been trying to work down in the post. He's not there consistently, right? Because he still be at the top of the key facilitating. But I think eventually this offseason, Bron is very strategic and very smart. And as you see, even in the finals, he shot over 40% from three ball last year. So you know he's working on it. So now he's going to continue to improve on it. And if he continue to work in that mid-range, even just turn him face, you ain't got to do bully. Just come catch it at the free throw line, hit you one of those. I think that's going to help out a lot. And then I think AD just got to get healthy. You got LeBron and AD, you got a chance at the end of the day. And my thing with the post, when you say I'm coming back for vengeance, it makes me look like you scripted this whole bull crap in the first place. Get eliminated in the first round, have everybody say, watch King dog. And I don't know, maybe that's like everybody has their own way to give themselves motivation and confidence. And I know when LeBron is at the bottom, when the chips are low, he usually come to the expectation and thrive. That's just what he does. So I'm looking at, barring injury, that LeBron comes back and takes his throne yet again and say, this is why I'm LeBron freaking James. I'm going to let y'all have it this year. I got to promote my movie. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my family. And I'm going to let the league have it. Call me whatever. Watch King, LeBron lost, woo. And when I come back, they're going to be like, how the hell is this man still doing what he's doing at the age of 37? He don't look like he losing a step. He look like he getting better. And Father Time ain't caught up to him. If Tom Brady can still play in the NFL at the damn age of 40, LeBron can do the same thing.
Two different things.
Hey, but anyway,
I like it. I like it because LeBron's coming back with a vengeance, and then out there in that Bay Area, so is Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. So you feel me? I'm looking forward to next year already.
It's going to be dope.
You and me both.
So my take, man, the Clippers survived, man. How do you feel about the Clippers surviving and moving on to the second round?
You know, I hear a lot of people out there using this opportunity to bash the Clippers. And I always, you know, I at least stop to try to ask myself from the other vantage point, what's going on. And my takeaway is that Luka is different. And Luka, when I say Luka is different, I mean that in the best kind of way. But there's some criticism too, because when I saw the James Harden experiment, and when you have these high usage players,
it doesn't work. And
you use when plan A is used 90% of the time, and you get to go mollywop these unqualified teams in the regular season, and you just having fun with a good old time, and then you get to the first round, second round of the playoffs, and it's a qualified team who has talent and IQ. Plan A should never really be used more than 50% of the time. And really, if you really got it like that, maybe plan A should be 30% of the time. But when you get there and then you just don't have it, that's where I hope the Mavs pivot. But to get back to the Clippers, he was so unique. They was in their own heads. And now that they're out of the way and they get some more conventional Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, you know, I'm thinking that this is Clips in 5, but I can dive further as the conversation, you know, goes there. But I'm feeling good about the Clippers at this point, and I'm not a Clipper fan. I just think that they got it in 5.
I would have to agree. I think the Clippers showed the world that when they want to lock in, they can lock in. And that's just what it seemed like. Even Luka he scored 47, but that was a rough 47. The game was out of hand. He only had 2 points damn near in the middle of the third quarter. So he wasn't involved. And that's when the Clippers kind of made their run because he wasn't involved and he was dependent on the others. And they was playing great defense on him. And so I like what the Clippers going to do. I got the Clippers going to the finals. That's my pick. They are my pick. I think this series is going to finally catapult the Los Angeles Clippers to the NBA Finals. That's how I feel at the end of the day.
Hey, man, like I said, Suns going to the finals. It's going to be fun to watch them beat the Clippers on their way there. Like I said, I said it earlier, I much respect to the Clippers. I'm always down on the Clippers just because I don't really like the Clipper fair weather fans.
Yeah.
That's the same way I feel about a lot of Golden State fans.
Oh yeah, I was like, weed them out, man. Get it clear all the suckers out, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't know. Cause me, I'm a real fan. I've been a real Laker fan. I'm a real Raider fan. Like I'm a real fan from the core. So when my team is up, I'm up. When my team is down, I'm down. I just don't start bouncing around. And then once the team start winning, I'm back being a super fan. Like, nah. And so that's just kind of what it is. It's like the Clippers went through that stretch, you know, with the Lob City, and then they start getting those fans. But when the Clippers was losing, those fans really wasn't claiming the Clippers still.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because they wasn't winning. It was get rid of Chris Paul. It was the reason why Blake Griffin got rid of, because it was like, what are the Clippers doing? And then when the Clippers was an 8th seed, there were no Clipper fans to be found. You feel me? When they was
I never even met one before, actually.
You feel me? When they was an 8th seed and they lost to the Warriors, you couldn't find a Clipper fan. And then the next year, here come Kawhi, and all of a sudden they all back out. So my thing with the Clippers is more or less like, y'all still little brothers in the basement.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. But I got them winning this series like you. I really don't have too much basketball intellect into it. I just feel like the Clippers are better than the Jazz, and the Jazz don't have no perimeter defenders that's going to be able to bother Kawhi.
I mean, you talking about Bogdanovich and Joe Ingles trying to deal with Kawhi and George. And
Russell O'Neal.
And then Donovan Mitchell is, you know, I mean, where he is in the hierarchy, but he doesn't represent what Luka represents. He's about 5 inches shorter. Yeah. And when Luka is playing at his own speed and watching everything happen and just make just the right play at just the right time, I'm sorry. Donovan Mitchell did way more than I thought he was going to do after missing a month. And I feel like I got egg on my face, but it ain't finna happen. They just going to be sliding over him. He's going to be getting switch after switch off the 6'8" dude that just, his efficiency is about to plummet. So
I definitely feel that, but I will say, and there's no point intended to my man PG. Donovan Mitchell is known for frying some folks. And so I'm telling you right now, if you think Donovan Mitchell is about to pull over and be like, Donovan Mitchell is going to make it a series. And I think if he balls out, he's not going to be Luka. But see, the difference between the Luka and Donovan Mitchell is at the athleticism, right? You got a man that's very athletic, very quick, very agile. He may not be able to control his speed, but his quick first step is fast as anyone in this league, and he can change gears really quickly on you. And D. Mitchell, he got ability to get it going. So it's going to be interesting to see this series. I think Conley is a big loss for them, though. That hamstring is going to be huge, so that gives them only one real legitimate ball handler. But I don't know. The Jazz is one of those teams that, is like they shouldn't win, but the Clippers, sometimes they get in those funks and they end up losing.
They do.
They can't hit a damn shot. And so I still got them winning this series in 6. And I'm going to say Jazz is going to get at least 2, but the Clippers will win the next 4. It's going to go 6. And I got them going to the Western Conference Finals for the first time ever in franchise history.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, man, moving right along, man, let's talk about these Hawks and my man, Ice Cold Trey. Keep them in the freezer. He may have the stadium quiet, crazy. How do you feel about the Hawks still in game 1? And what do you think that's going to happen in game 2?
Hold up. Before he goes, I just want to make sure that I quote him. Because we was all on the same Knicks hype.
We was.
But my man, Hot Take Jay said he ain't here yet. He going to need something to get him over the hump. He just not believing in Ice Trey.
So, he did say that.
Yeah, he did.
I did. And you know what? Where my miscalculation went up in that was basically how bad the Knicks offense was looking in a playoff setting.
Right.
And it's like this snowball that's going downhill, right? And when Trae Young was more ready for the moment. Now, first off, let me prerequisite here. Let me give some backstory. I was all in on Trae Young when they traded for Luka Doncic with the Mavs. I was like, I could see maybe if Mo Bamba's out here hitting threes, maybe you got this 7-footer who's banging threes. But who else should you be drafting? And I was like, they say Ayton, and the only one is Luka, then Trae. And I'm a Trae fan. I just didn't know it was going to come this fast. And to watch him come out there, and to be honest, I'm really excited for game 2 because it's almost like a mulligan. He presents some different stuff. He messed Philly up, and now when he really gets a qualified defense, and then they start countering for you, and then your shot hits a little funk. But bro, his floater game. And his people sleep on it, man. His passing is pristine. He's so quick. And I'm one of his biggest fans, bro. He out there. They're trying to do this Warriors 2.0, thing with that depth, and I'm feeling it. So
I appreciate you, Jay.
Definitely would say that Trae Young is here, and I always say he's here. I just wanted to see him in the playoffs. Because a lot of people always say that great player or good players look great when they're on bad teams. But what you're seeing, even with the Devin Booker, and we'll talk about that just a few, and the Trae Youngs and these young players, they're in the playoffs, and now everybody get to see how great they really is. And so Trae Young is playing phenomenal, and that Hawks team has confidence. What was the defining point in that game? It was crazy to me. The game was over, but when he threw that damn lob from the three-point line and Austin dunked on Embiid, I said, these boys are not afraid of it.
Yeah.
These boys, because you know how young teams, you play against a veteran team, you get a little nervous. You like, man, they got it, man, they got it. They came in Philly when Triple H was in Philly, and he did the whole DX, all this stuff, and they came and hit him in the mouth early. I mean, it was up by 20 in the first quarter. Yeah. And that's something you really don't see from a young team like that. But they're playing like, hey, we can't lose. We the team in the series. We can beat these guys, and you see the confidence.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead.
It's just to your point, Jay. Just people don't talk about his passing ability. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like that is so underappreciated. He was in college averaging 25 and 10.
Yeah.
That's what he was averaging in college. That year he went off at Oklahoma, the man was averaging 25 and 10. And when he's been in the league, he's been basically 27 and 8. But they've been losing. Then the following year, it was like 30 and 9, but they were losing. And so his ability to see the court, he is a hell of a passer. So because he's good on the offensive side with the dribble and he got the vision to pass, that makes him such a complete point guard. His biggest thing is just his size and how small he is and his competitive level on the defensive end. But you feel me? He's just going to make it tough. And on top of that, I'm thinking they put Ben Simmons on him. But now I'm seeing that's a problem because he could put Ben in foul trouble. Now y'all ain't got Ben, and he just going to cook everybody else. So this series is interesting. Before the series, I said Hawks in 5 because I thought Embiid injury was going to be something a little bit more serious. But now I got the Hawks in 6. I'm going to stand by.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that, well, first off, watching Steph over the last 10, 12 years or however long it's been, there's a swag that when he's going that the rest of the team has. Like you ever seen a TV show? I think I was watching the Upshaws with Mike Epps or whoever, and he's about to square up with somebody, and then the big dude has got his back right behind him, but he don't see that the big guy's behind him, and then this dude backs off of him because homeboy's behind him, and it's like, and that's how I feel when it's Trae Young, and then he's got the rest of the boys behind him. Because I saw it with the Warriors, and when you got this dude, whether he can pull for 40. Or his floater game too is so nasty. I love that floater. It creates an aura of invincibility. And with Ben Simmons out there, this is something we're going to dissect when we talk about Brooklyn, but there's a reality out there. Great offense beats great defense. You can have the best defensive player in the world, but if you got somebody out there, whether it's KD, Steph, Trae Young, when they're cooking, it doesn't matter if you Gobert, Kawhi, Ben Simmons, it just doesn't matter. Go sit down, player. And so why waste Ben? Why waste Ben on that? Put him on Capella and let him play the switch rather than just get out there and be pointless on Trae anyway in space. You naked.
I said that. What did I tell you, boy, Ryan? I said, don't matter about all them dogs that you got on the floor if they can't score. I said that. That's why they are at home in South Beach. But anyway, moving right along. Let's talk about these Suns, man. They're looking like one of the best teams in the West right now. And I would say this, is that the Suns may not have all the superstars, but they have the right mesh of players that fits the right system, and they all have bought into their role. And a lot of teams don't really have a lot of that stuff no more. Sometimes you just depend on the superstars so heavily. But what Monty Williams is doing over there and the way them boys are playing defense, they are coming to show the world like we are here, and we're here. We're a force to be reckoned with. How do you feel about the Suns taking game 1 against the MVP? Because it's just in. Jokic has been named the NBA MVP, most valuable player.
We start with me?
Yeah.
Y'all already talked. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was actually impressed with Ayton. He ain't no world beater on defense, but he's solid. And he actually reaffirms why I want to keep James Wiseman, because you can't just be naked out here against Jokic, Embiid. We'll get to Giannis, but you need somebody with a little bit of athleticism, somebody who can stand in front of Jokic. Jokic was reluctant to abuse it or just kind of take it as a one-on-one. Jokic is not the type of player to just walk into an inefficient game. And so now you're going to see where the Nuggets kind of fall short a little bit, talent depleted with Jamal Murray being gone. I'm thoroughly impressed, man. I think the Suns, and you see it again, we're going to get to Brooklyn and the Bucks, but Chris Paul could have went to New Orleans. He could have went to Milwaukee. And there's just something to be said about putting the players in the right spot. No, this is how we're going to get this bucket right now. We ain't letting them off the hook. We ain't settling. And he was the missing piece. And my homeboy called it, and I was taking a dump on the Suns, but got to eat some crow there too.
Yeah, like I said, I got the Suns to the finals. The Suns showed me a lot in that bubble run, and then adding Chris Paul, I was like, they could be something. I felt that the Lakers was their worst possible matchup just because of the Lakers' size, but I felt
they would have been a healthy.
Yeah, and I felt like, but with anybody else in the West, the Suns is going to give you problems. I had a chance to really just watch how they play, and you feel me? It's just one of those things, man, that you just got to respect what Chris Paul does. Sometimes I was always a person that really didn't like his antics, but I felt like that was part of his little man syndrome of being picked on. And
you was right though. You was right.
Yeah,
because it was.
Because it's just his antics when he's with the Clippers. Remember, he socked Marc Gasol in the groin, and you feel me? He just be doing just a little bit too much at times. But you feel me? The man's a baller. I just want him to stay healthy because I really didn't like that he got hurt against the Lakers because I didn't want that to be a reason why they couldn't get over the hump. It was, Chris Paul got hurt and all that kind of stuff because that's what hurt the Rockets when he hurt the hammy. So a healthy Chris Paul, man. I got the Suns going to the finals. I got this series over in 5, possible 6 like we pay in spades. And then, you feel me? They'll deal with the Clippers when it's time to deal with the Clippers.
Now, getting to the last topic of the day, man, which was the first topic we discussed. I know you've been waiting to talk about this. You've been waiting to talk about this Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee, I don't know, Bucks. How do you feel about them getting ran 2 games in a row and actually getting whipped by 49 points in a playoff game? How do you feel about it?
I think it's a coaching malpractice on Budenholzer. I'm watching Drew Holiday get wasted on KD. Now let's say I remember when KD was it the Supersonics, or if they had just become OKC and Drew Holiday had a little success 10 years ago on KD, but that ain't then and this is now. And how you gonna waste him? I get what they're trying to do with the switching thing and giving these guys different looks, but they got handed a gift with Harden being out. And it's just it's one thing snowballs, right? They're dominating on the inside, and they are a top 5 shooting 3-point team, and they ain't making the 3-pointers. So then what happens? Long rebounds, and then you got KD and Kyrie in transition. That's a wrap. And they come out here looking like this is their championship because they believe that this is probably the only real threat if Philly's wounded. And this is crazy. So I'm not going to ask Giannis to do anything that he ain't built to do, shooting 40% on threes, but they ain't even trying. The answer ain't giving the ball at the top of the key and just watch him try to create something out of nothing when he can't hit a mid-range or a free throw line extended. So it's bad. I texted you earlier, and I think the only explanation I can possibly give is that they was counting on Dante DiVincenzo to be something and to bring a dimension that they don't have right now. And when I looked at his stats, when I looked at his defensive IQ, he was nice 6'4", and he was playing some of that facilitating combo guard to Giannis and Drew Holiday. I think that one really smacked him in the mouth. But credit where credit's due. Kyrie Irving has the best handle God has ever graced a human being with, and he's out here putting it on him. Yeah.
Is DiVincenzo, is he healthy? Is he gone?
He's out.
No,
he's out with the ankle. Was it ankle?
Yeah.
Ankle, right?
Whatever it was season ending. Came across the ticker a couple weeks ago, and I didn't think much of it. But to watch them have nothing, like you just gonna hand Giannis the ball, they're giving him the Ben Simmons treatment, and then he comes out and he misses 3 shots, and you got nothing. Like, what's going on here, Coach?
Yeah, I feel like they're blowing it in 2 separate ways. A, they're not taking advantage of the size. They're pissing me off like I'm watching the Lakers all over again. Yeah, because it's just like, why not utilize the size? And I also think they don't need to start P.J. Tucker. Take P.J. Tucker out, start Pat Covington, right? That means Chris Middleton comes off of Joe Harris, and he's not sitting there running around with Joe Harris all goddamn series, because I feel like that's what's draining Chris Middleton's legs, which is making him a little bit more incapable on the offensive side. So you bring in Pat Covington, start him, let him chase around Joe Harris, because Joe Harris ain't about to post a man up, so you ain't got to worry about the size difference. You just need somebody right there. Leave Drew on Kyrie, and then Giannis, you go take KD. And you go do what the greats do. I got this. If I got to score 30 and limit him to 30, just 30, and we cancel each other out, cool. But you, at some point, you got to man up and you got to go be the guy to say, I got this. He said it in his press conference. You can't stop KD. KD's going to do this. You're right. Let's be real. But as the reigning defensive player of the year, as the reigning MVP, you need to put your backpack on, son, and go do something different. Because on the flip side, then now Lopez, you go get in the post a little bit more, make KD play some post defense, and tire him out. You feel me? They not.
Did you watch the first? I know you watched the first couple quarters of the first game, and there was some demonstrative blocks going on. Giannis was big boy and KD, and then in the end, as the game kind of wore on, KD got in his groove, and he's feeding off of Kyrie, and all of a sudden, it don't matter how big he is. If there's one person in the league I want to stand in front of KD, it would be Giannis. But what I'm realizing is if KD's even halfway feeling himself in that game, in that particular game, then I would rather KD and PJ Tucker play help defense. I'm going to take somebody else like Middleton, and I'm going to say, bro, give him the lane. Let him drive. We're going to have 1.5 guys on him at all times. But what you ain't going to let him do is just pull up right in your face. So get all up in his stuff and let the rest of the defense, you got to have the helper going on. You got to have, it's got to be across the board, because watching KD dismantle any one person in front of him, like that's barbecue chicken, man. Like, come on.
I would agree, but I think that this is where I disagree. I would let KD depend on shooting it from the three. I would let him shoot contested threes, and I will live with that. It becomes a problem when he start penetrating, because now the defense will collapse, and that's getting open shots for all the other guys. And that's why they've been losing. Blake Griffin been getting great looks. Joe Harris been getting great looks. People coming off the bench is getting great looks. Everybody is getting great looks right now. And so I would let KD and Kyrie play their one-on-one basketball, but I got to mitigate the others. Hey, you score on PJ Tucker, you go for 50, that's fine, because this is what the Clippers did to Luka, and that's why I believe that it hurt the Mavs. They said, look, we're going to let Luka do what Luka going to do, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to stop these other guys. And I know once you got them taking tough shots, even when they open, they're going to feel like they got to rush it. So they're not going to shoot the ball like they're open. But with the Brooklyn Nets, they're shooting the ball with confidence because they've been open for the last 2 games. They out here daring Blake Griffin to shoot it. And I don't like that kind of mindset. And then they're trying to play help defense, and all Brooklyn doing is one more. Oh, you're out of position. Now you're trying to help overcompensate. One more. Get the shot, shoot it with confidence.
So
on in.
But let's go to the origins of it. And to me, is the best defense starts with a good offense. And the line sounds cliche, but if you a top 5 shooting 3-point team, and then all of a sudden you going 5 for 30, what's actually happening here, right? Now, because you're so used to shooting threes all year and running teams off the court because it's all dunks and 3-pointers at the highest efficiency. Now, you know, all the pressure's mounting. They walling off Giannis, so all the easy buckets at the lane are cut off. And now we come out, we miss 5. We miss 6. We all up in our own heads. These are long rebounds. And now it's transition basketball with 2 Hall of Famers and then some sharpshooters out there. Right. Like it's all, and then it's just all downhill from there. So they got to figure out the offensive end first.
The fact that they're shooting, they're not even shooting good contested. They're not. Yeah. They're just jacking shots up just to be. Yeah. It's not in no rhythm. They're just coming down, shoot a 3, get back, come down, shoot another 3, and that is what I'm disappointed with Milwaukee. Like Reason said, they're not using their size. Giannis had 36, but he was getting a lot of shots from the inside. Then he went outside a little bit. But I don't even like him shooting threes like that. I would rather him shoot that mid-range, be more consistent with that. But that is a coaching problem, and I'm mad that he allowed them to go back to their old Milwaukee ways. Like, nigga, we gonna go down the way we've been going down, and we about to get eliminated yet again from the playoffs. That's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. But it's here nor there. I just think that Brooklyn is looking like the team to beat right now. You may even end up seeing Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets, and I think the Hawks will give them everything they got, but they won't have enough. And I'm saying, like I said, I'm booking it right now. Clippers, Nets, playoffs. I mean, in the finals, man. But before we get up out of here, man, what do you last final words, man? What you got, Reasons?
Just looking forward to, some competitive basketball. It needs to start being a little bit more competitive. Teams out here getting blown out in the second round is not good for basketball. I agree with my man Jay. Milwaukee has to fix the offensive end because these three-pointers is turning long rebounds turning transition getting the Nets running, and when the Nets running, you can't beat them. Kind of back to how the Lakers were with their defense. When you can't a transition team get to play their game, you're going to lose. And with the Bucks, it goes to Jay's point of them being a high clip three-point shooting team. If they go inside, and even if they missing layups, right, it's still under the rim to where you can damn near at least set your defense back up. You feel me? And it's a little bit better rather than the long rebounds. So got to see more out of the Bucks. I'm looking forward to Trae Young being the killer that he is. Not too confident in winning game 2, though. I got the Jazz winning tonight because I feel like the Clippers off this emotional high going to be the Clippers and let themselves get clipped. The Suns in 5 and 6. And, yeah, man, it's pretty much all I got.
What you got, hot take?
Yeah, no, for me, I'm just going to my optimism, I've been a Giannis fan for a minute now, but you can't my level of optimism, I'm not going to say respect because that's too strong of a word. Like, when you're about to give up on somebody, like I'm just not a believer in them no more. We talk about Paul George and a couple of these other guys. Like if Giannis, right now my blame counter is 60% Budenholzer. I'm gonna give Giannis about 20%. I'm gonna give Drew maybe 10%. And the accountability means that Giannis should say this shit ain't working. This is what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna put some of that on Drew. If the coach ain't gonna do it, like why is Giannis's minutes not matched up with KD's? Like if I'm Giannis, I'm getting off the bench and I'm just gonna match his minutes. What are you gonna do, coach? And so there's a stubbornness. I saw it with James Harden and the Rockets. I hope Luka don't go there. And then, I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. Why you going to run through the whole regular season, running this pistol offense, killing the league? You up by 30 points in half the games, but you ain't going to work on plan B for when you're going to need it in the playoffs, right? Bro, it's crazy to me, and I don't want Giannis to be a casualty. And it's what I saw from the Mavs. Luka's nice, but you got to figure it out. If Porzingis don't want to be there, you got to figure out who the number 2 is because plan A can't be more than 50%. It can't be.
But to answer your question and to wrap it up as well, is that plan A ain't even 50%. Middleton is the 70%. He took 21 shots. Your man Giannis only had 12 attempts or 12 or 15 attempts at the that's unacceptable. My superstar should not only have 50.
That's the problem. He ain't. He a third. He's a number 3. And if they had somebody else, let's say that they had Chris Paul instead of Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is probably a better player than Chris Paul, but what Chris Paul does,
hot take. Wait a minute.
Right now at this point in time, Chris Paul's old, but here's what he does. Let's not digress.
He just said player as it just.
Let's caliber of play. We could get into that. We could have a side conversation. Save it. Book it.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at here is what Chris Paul's strengths are is what the Bucks need. And
he said that though when we was talking all season. We both said Chris Paul to Milwaukee to change all of it.
And DiVincenzo being out, I don't know. I didn't watch him like that. But when I went and looked at some highlights and where his stats were, I'm like, maybe they was counting on that. I don't know. But this can't be it. This what I'm seeing right here, this can't be it.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
The Bucks are not playing the way they played in the first round. And that's just what it is. They can get to the rim. They can attack the rim, But what I'm seeing is that they're running away from the attacking and they're relying too much on the jump shooting. And that's where they're getting in trouble. When that game was close in game one and it was back and forth, they was attack. And they just ran away from that. Now they want the ball in Giannis' hands at the top of the key, and they're getting away of having the ball in Holiday hands and orchestrating the offense. That is a coaching decision, and that's the issue. If you let Holiday play like Holiday play, get the offense in the flow, they're going to be all right. But if you go back to this old Giannis at the top, we spread out, you're going home. You're going home in 4. You ain't winning the game. Nets about to blow your ass out. Sorry about my language, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the Trae Young. Like I said, the two teams that are playing great basketball right now, and they're looking like the favorites, but I still think the Clippers going to make it, is the Phoenix Suns. The Atlanta Hawks is playing really well, but Brooklyn Nets is unmatched. Those two teams, Brooklyn Nets and Phoenix, are looking like the favorites. And I got a thing that if they do get to the finals, you may see superstardom versus all-stars, right? And a superstar per se, or superstars in the making. Which team is the better gel? You know what I mean?
It'll look like the Heat versus the Thunder.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd definitely be interesting. But anyway, man, we're about to get up out of here. Shout out to my man Hot Take Jay. We will be having him back on the show on Thursday to talk more basketball. And we definitely got to talk about my man Julio on Thursday. Just even though we're going to talk basketball, I got to talk about my Atlanta Falcons trading Julio Jones. It hurt my heart. It hurt my soul to see Julio Jones go to Tennessee. It sucks. But y'all let us know in the comments below, how do y'all feel about these playoffs, man? Who y'all got in these game 2s? Who y'all got winning these second rounds? Always remember, stay blessed, stay safe, and to talk that talk. We holla at y'all on Thursday. Deuces.